The walls here are coated in amber, and it glistens like fresh honey. The black marble floor is absolutely covered in dust, and as you can see, the northern part of the hall is just collapsed. And at the other end, you see 3 people are trying to get through the door.
Can you move my token for me? Because I'm away from my keyboard for a second.
There you go.
I've seen that art before.
Yep. I am a fan of that art.
Why not?
The 3 witches to the south.
Wow.
You stupid door! Open!
Can we help you?
They turn around. Who are you? One of them brandishes a wand at you.
Are you sure you want to point weapons at us? I believe that will end poorly for you.
Is that so? Is that a threat?
We're travelers.
It is only a threat if you make it one.
Make me an intimidate check.
Nice.
The one with the wand doesn't seem to be backing down, and it is, about to say something, but the one next to her is like, "Sister, I think this one is different."
Also, we seem to be missing
sense something.
Casimir again.
Oh.
Casimir just stayed by the pool.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, she puts a hand on her shoulders like, "Sister, I sense something different about this one. Perhaps it would be better to not." And is looking at you very warily.
Katrina?
Yeah. Very well. Perhaps we will not have to kill you then. But the power behind this door is ours. Do you hear?
Katrina will just raise an eyebrow and look over at Exosanter, see what their reaction is.
Exosanter is computing.
And what do you know of the power behind that door?
The power of pacts.
Power of what?
Of pacts.
Ah.
Untold dark powers, forbidden arts, and knowledge.
I'm gonna sort of look back at Misery and just say, sounds like they're after the Overlord as well.
Does seem that way. This power isn't just limited to one person.
But
I mean,
we
if you
would be
want, we can make a line, and you can go first.
But it would be a fool. Only a fool would share such power. You promise peace, but would you not turn on us once you have your power?
What would we gain from that?
We promised no such thing as peace. The only guarantee I made was if you were to attack us, we would kill you.
Alongside what Rowena said, you're honestly not worth the trouble.
Not worth the... Do you even know who we are?
I'm going to
No.
dimension door in front of them.
Okay.
And
That's a waste of a spell slot.
whoever said that specifically, do you even know who we are? And I'm going to ask them the exact same question.
No? Should I?
My name is Katrina von Zarovna.
Oh shit.
Now leave this place, you insolent whelps.
Sister, I told you, this one is different. And then the sort of like combative one, right? The proud combative one is like, well, fine. It's no use anyway. The door is locked and there's no way of getting through it. Come, sisters, let us depart this place.
I will step aside.
And then they'll leave.
Phase through the wall.
Sorry about that.
How many different
Exitenter, I
tokens
assume
do
you
we
know the
have?
password. 3. You have seen all of them now. Exitenter, I assume you know the password.
Strange. Why did they not ask for it? And he will walk up to the door and look up the password in his brain. Shalks.
Oh
And
man, what kind of arcane password is Shalks?
I mean, my guess it's a name.
Yeah, probably.
And the arcane mechanism on the door presses in, like it's like the door is like a smooth stone face, and then a rune appears, and the rune physically presses into the stone, and then turns like a lock, and you hear the turning of stone on stone, and it's like really cool, right? And then the door opens.
How do we communicate with them?
As you step in, flame skulls like from the upper floor descend upon you, and Exosantra just shoos them away.
Gooses' power would fuck off again.
Yeah, pretty much. They just
The
like
cantrip
fly
for
out
this
like
dude.
bats. And he's just like, use the tablets. How else?
Misery will pull out her tablet and step into the suspicious circle.
You look at the big chunk of amber on the right here,
Yep.
and what appears to be a corpse preserved in it. And it's strange. The corpse does not move, but you see a shadow within that sort of like overlaps with the corpse, and the shadow moves ever so slightly, ever so like out of perception. You know when like you walk through past like an inanimate portrait, but it feels like its eyes are moving and looking at you?
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Okay. I suppose you are the Overlord?
I was once long ago.
He was what once? I had to mute for a second.
I was once long ago.
What was that in response to?
I assume you're the Overlord? I was.
Oh, that was this thing talking.
Yeah. Only Misery hears this.
And what are you now?
A shade of an echo of a memory of a remnant.
I was told you could grant power. Can you do that?
Yeah. Like all echoes, what was once my power can echo through you. We are much the same, I see. You serve a master as once did I.
I don't think of it as serving a master.
The
But
same,
yes,
in
we work
fact.
together.
The same, in fact, if
So
I
you are familiar with
recognize
Orcus.
that skull in your pocket. I don't know how you fit a skull in your pocket, but you know.
Is that a skull in your pocket, or?
Is that a bone in your pocket? Is that a bone in your pocket or just a bone in your pocket? I'm sorry.
You're familiar with Orcus.
I served him once, as do you. Now, working together, that is a step you have not reached.
What would a shade of an echo of a remnant know about that?
My ultimate bargain with Orcus. Perhaps my greatest achievement, you see. I see Exathanter is doing well. Tell me, child, do you know the bargain of lichdom?
I do not.
Is that so? I
It's
would have
never
thought.
interested me.
But you know of it.
I know it can happen.
How Orcus trades the secret, the ritual, in exchange for service. And you would know, as a Warlock of Orcus, even if you're not personally interested in Lichdom,
Okay.
that's like a major selling point, on the Become a Warlock of Orcus brochure. Serve me forever, and I'll show you how to be a Lich. And then you can serve me forever as a Lich.
Well, yes. I am aware of that.
Then ask yourself this, servant. How do you think Orcus came to be in the possession of the secret? And what power, what trade do you think he would make in exchange for it?
Are you telling me that the secret of Lichdom didn't originate from Orcus himself?
You see the overlapping shadow sort of bow.
Misery's eyes actually go wide in surprise here.
Now that you see what sorts of things are possible, what is it you wish of me?
Whatever you are willing to grant me.
What remains? There are 3. I offer 1 of 3 spells. The first is the Hideous Mandate. It is a gift of ultimate command. And my personal signature spell. There
Okay.
are others in this place, but none of them can teach you this one. As for the other 2, I can give you the gift of the Enigma Mask. Do you know of it?
I have heard of it.
Interesting. The third I offer is powerful necromancy, allowing you to summon and wield the power of a boneyard.
I would like the hideous mandate, if you would be so kind to grant it to me.
Place your stone upon mine.
She does so.
Exothanter will just like take your hand and correct your posture and like put your hand on the stone. Like, nope, straighten your back. There
Straighten
you
your back,
go.
bend the knees.
Yeah. There is
Wide stance.
it feel it feels like a very bright flash. Although no one else sees it. But it flashes from the amber to the stone to Misery. And you see the spell instructions, right? Like if you were looking at a spell scroll and what spell scroll has written on it, you see the spell scroll for Hideous Mandate put on the tablet. You are attuned to this tablet. I assume you have an attunement slot open.
Yes.
If you
Probably. I don't know how many attunement slots you
you
get.
get 3.
And it depends on how many the Skull of Orcus takes up.
It takes up 1.
Okay, then yes. I have slots open.
Yeah. You also gain a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
So that's why this killed people.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Rowena has a level, doesn't she?
And she has 5 tablets.
Yeah.
I don't think I have enough
If you-
attunement slots though.
If you were an artificer with the thing that gives you extra slots, you could absolutely kill yourself getting too many.
You could also have gotten exhaustion on the road up here from the
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, so I don't have any exhaustion currently because we took the long rest.
That's right.
Oh,
we
right,
did.
right.
You could also, even without attunement, you could be like, I want this spell. Oh no, I want this new spell now. Or you could cast it in between. I don't know.
I offer you one of 3 spells. Which would you like? Yes.
Wait, so how many attunements can we have? You said 3.
3.
Yeah.
By default.
Yeah. Yeah, then I only have like 1 open slot.
And I'll have to give you the spells.
Yeah, you can
I
DM it
also
and-
only have 1
Yeah.
slot. Not that I'm planning on filling it here.
There is. Let's see. Share. Every spell is in this doc. I will post it in Discord. Yeah, you can look at what the spells like. You can read them before you decide if you want.
Misery's just gonna fall to one knee, start breathing heavily. Thank you, Overlord. I will use this very well. And she'll leave the circle.
Everyone who wasn't in the circle, so everyone, sort of just. It looks like she was talking to a, inanimate object.
We
And
could
then
hear
touched it and
everything
then
she was
collapsed.
saying the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Just yeah, okay.
Anyone else?
good.
I mean, if I only have the one slot, I think I want to save it for the wizard one.
Mm. You took all 5 and then can't.
Oh, I didn't realize that I would only be able to attune to one of them.
Well,
Oh,
can
you could do
you?
more? If you
Yeah, do
have,
you have to attune to it immediately, or?
it will overwrite your other attunement slots. So if you had like a sword you were attuned to, you would just unattune to the sword, and then you could just reattune to the sword later after you cast it.
Can you only cast the spell one time?
One time, it's like a spell scroll. Needless to say, once you cast it, the attunement is no longer in use. But Misery, as you walk away, you feel something. It feels like knowledge, and it feels like knowledge that you already knew, which is, when bargaining with these kinds of entities, as is the entire nature of a warlock. Power always comes at a price.
Yep.
And you feel some of the essence of this former ancient warlock, this lich warlock, as it were, and this undeath that they sort of made their signature bargain pact. The things that undead can't be healed with, so like healing spells, will no longer work on you.
Oh, for fuck's sake! God damn it!
Wait, what happened?
Misery cannot get it, boy.
Well, I am no longer able to heal Misery.
Fuck.
So what? You said the things that hurt undead no longer affect
The
Misery?
things that do not heal undead also do not work on Misery.
I see.
So if I am knocked to 0, I am dead. Unless I succeed on 3 death saving throws. Period.
So,
Nice knowing
can
you.
you only...
Nope, no effect on undead constructs. Goddamn.
So can you only heal by like resting?
Fuck. That's rough.
Misery can only heal by
I
resting
would be able
and
to
can't
heal by
rest.
resting.
Misery
I
is
will say
fucked.
I settled this price before you like went and cursed yourself.
You need all the more reason to talk to Katrina about that
Mhm.
quest.
Yes, everything comes at a price. In this case, the price of being alive is the price of having to, deal with Katrina.
Or you could just die. That works too.
Is there anything that heals undead?
Just how petty is Misery?
Yeah, as she walks away and she realizes this, she is going to be very bad at masking, like, just a pang of fear.
Y'all see this. Just this weird one-sided conversation that has this weird exhaustion reaction, and then it's like, oh no! Make of that what you will.
Yeah, at this, she's going to break her second tablet. Just, nope. No, you all can get yourselves killed. I'm good.
Are you... Is it that bad?
Wouldn't you like to know? You're the reason it's this bad.
What did I do?
You know what you did.
No, I don't!
Oh, really? Conveniently, as soon as you're back alive, I can no longer sleep peacefully. Not that I really slept before, but even when I want to, I can't. It's just dreams of ravens. Your damned ravens.
First off, I had nothing to do with that. Second, what the fuck? If you've pissed off the Raven Queen, why don't you just apologize?
I did nothing to piss her off.
I'm going to sort of glance at the rest of the party. Is that true?
Can I roll insight to see if I can make the connection to the Raven Queen
Yeah.
shrine?
Yeah. Yeah, you know it happened like right after she took the treasure from the shrine. Both Marcus and Rowena are like, wait a minute.
I'm just like, you did take the treasure from that Raven Queen shrine in Kirill's lair.
Oh, what, you think she's going to get mad at me over a few trinkets? What is she going to do with them? She can barely even touch this plane.
But she can.
Gods are
And what does she want with
petty.
these trinkets? Is she really that petty? I can use them better than she can.
If you wish not to atone, that's your choice. But I think you also know that's also your funeral. I can try and help you, but it'd have to wait until tomorrow.
I'll think about it.
Also, on Misery breaking the second tablet, Katrina's just going to be very skeptical and curious, and she's going to go ahead and use Eyes of the Grave to see if something changed.
It's confusing to look at.
Hey,
Like, technically not undead, but there's like an aura upon her, if that makes sense.
oh, that's fucked.
Not only have I taken, like, all of the various features that make me closer to undead, but now I've just been cursed to be kind of undead.
Incredible. Well, good to know. This comes at a cost. Who are the other four
But did you
enamored
expect
ones?
it would be free?
No, of course not. I just didn't expect the price to be that steep. I mean, if Misery is content with just one, then definitely not a light cost. No
Yours
offense.
will be more to your liking. And then he's like, the next one. And remembers that you wanted the cleric one.
I wanted to visit the cleric one and the sorcerer one just to shop around a bit.
Yeah.
I want to visit the wizard one.
Next in his mind is the cleric one. He's like, which one was the cleric one? And yeah, you see him running all the way through the temple in his mind, and he's like, ah, and goes right here.
Didn't even realize there was a door there.
There we go.
This one doesn't have.
And what is this one called?
Did you not hear him?
I
You cut
may
out.
not have been paying attention. You
Oh.
may have cut out.
For the password, he said Lathander.
Oh,
Haven't we heard that name before?
yeah, the Morning Lord.
Wait,
Huh,
what now?
Morning Lord is entombed here.
that's not who I expected. Wait, Lathander as in the Lathander, the Morning Lord.
He just shrugs.
Trina will sort of approach and inspect the figure within the amber, see if she recognizes anything of what she has learned about the Morning Lord.
I'd say like before. Well, I mean, this is Katrina's first time seeing it, but like with Misery, you see it is a still body preserved in the amber with a sort of shadowy after image that appears, except this one's a bit glowy. It's a glowing shadow. It's weird. You feel like you're being watched.
Katrina was kind of watching through the doorway at what Misery was doing, so she will gently place one tablet down by the entrance, so she's only holding one, and go ahead and assume the position, placing the tablet against Lathander's tomb.
Well, you need to talk to it first, I think. I think you only place the tablet when you make the transaction.
Fair enough. Lathander, Untold?
A name that I have not heard in a long time. Even if it is a name spoken still. Why have you come to this place?
To the temple specifically, or to Barovia?
He does not clarify.
My friends and I found ourselves in this valley, torn from the worlds we once knew and trapped by mists that I believe were created in part by my father Strahd von Zarovek. I seek a way to end his reign and to free the people of Barovia, hopefully for good.
For good, you say?
Yes, I see there are multiple interpretations of that word, such that the
Indeed.
tragedy that has occurred here does not repeat again. I wish to break the cycle.
You will find that much of the world and fate is written in cycles.
But not me.
I know not of this time, only of what came before. I'm afraid any advice I could offer you may be of limited use. But advice is not why you are here.
Katrina just nods.
You seek divine power beyond what is wielded by clerics. The power of divine intercession could be yours, as could the power of Genesis. And kind of images flash in your head of like what these words mean, like what they truly mean. You see for divine intercession, like somebody dies, they're hit by like a huge like blast of a spell, like just full on disintegrate, and then a flash of light and they're fine, and you know, this like they're immune. Whereas Genesis, you see images of creation and healing. Or perhaps you would wield the power of light more directly with lightning leap. And you kind of see a it's kind of like, you know, the god like throwing down the lightning bolt from the sky, but it's also becoming the lightning bolt.
Hmm.
Make your choice.
Before I do, I am aware that these gifts are not given freely. To whom or to what do I owe the pleasure of these offerings? And what price might be extracted for them?
It is not a simple price. In taking some of what remains of my power, you will also take into you some of what remains of my essence. When I was alive and I ascended, I took upon myself the mantle of God of Light and of the Sun.
And the people of this valley worship you to this day. I seek the boon of
I
Genesis.
would be glad to hear that, if I could be glad.
I seek the boon of Genesis.
Very well. And as you move to, get in position to put the tablet on, it looks like he looks at Marcus and says, "Ah, I see you travel with one who wields the blade I once forged. May you use this gift well." And you get attunement and a level of exhaustion.
Yep.
And you get the Genesis spell.
Unlike Misery, unless something absolutely fucking terrible happens between me taking Genesis and walking out the door, I will be keeping my second tablet.
For you, understanding dawns as you leave the room is not really light, but it felt very light. And you step into the much dimmer light. And suffice to say, you now have a fear of the dark.
Katrina just... her breath catches and she just clutches the symbol of the Morning Lord. And this may have been a mistake.
More specifically, when in darkness or dim light, you have the frightened condition.
Damn.
That doesn't seem as bad as the not being able to heal.
Oh, you don't know half my build.
Yeah.
It's literally in the name of the subclass.
Rip.
Welp, that happened.
But it seems like all these things are just really bad matchups for who's getting them.
Is that intentional?
Probably.
The winning move is to not play at all.
Marcus doesn't want to go in with his sun sword.
He has the Sun Sword. What other power does he need?
Just saying, can't be afraid of the dark if you're never in it.
Speaking of, she is going to cast light just to make sure
Yeah.
that
You can do that.
she is not in darkness and not afraid right now, because
Yep.
that's terrifying.
It's not like a super terrifying fear, but
It's more the existential terror, like, oh god, this is a thing that I used to be comfortable in, and now it is just nagging in the back of my mind that I
Yep.
being in the presence of darkness is making my skin crawl. What the fuck
Yep.
just happened?
It is the lack of light that is disturbing. This was a god of light who no longer truly exists. And that absence is yeah.
Shall we continue?
Exothanter will lead you to the West Hall. And he will point north to
Like
the
straight
door
north?
that's open, actually.
The door is ajar.
He will say, the primordial. He will point south. The Archmage.
I think the Archmage is where I'm heading.
And at the,
Isn't there
this one, at this door, say, the Archon.
What is the difference between the Archon and the Primordial?
one more? One's a
Primordial.
sorcerer, one's a druid.
Was a master of primal magic. She herself could tell you more. But I guess Rowanna's just like already.
Yeah, Rowan is probably already walking toward the Archmage, and so the rest of us are likely going to follow.
Alright.
Yep.
What's the password?
So yeah, Exothanter's about to talk about like what's the primordial primal magic. She could tell you more, but it is a tale of hang on. And he will say Anna.
What did he say?
What a terribly normal name compared to the others.
Did he say Anna?
No, he said Thana.
Oh, Thana.
All I heard was Anna.
No, it was Thana.
I take back what I said then.
Guess I will approach the Archmage.
Have you come to be my apprentice? If so, I'm afraid you will be terribly disappointed. And again, you see the whole, shadowy after image on a still corpse that just looks at you kind of weird. Like, its eyes follow you even though it's not moving. Don't make me describe it every time. I like how Marcus was like, I'm going to take a tablet just so I can listen in, and then doesn't listen in on any of them.
Well, it was not the way I thought it would be. But it's better to have it and not need it than to
Mm.
Yeah.
not have one.
So why would I be disappointed?
In life, I taught some of history's greatest wizards. Alas, I am no longer fit to teach. Have you studied reality?
Um, I mean, what do you mean by
Its
reality?
structure, its nature, its fabric. I thought not. Suffice to say, I am not real anymore, and thus a poor substitute for a proper mentor.
Dude's going meta on us.
If your wish is to rival the likes of Bigby and Mordenkainen, you will have your work cut out for you. However, there are still some things I can provide.
What does she offer?
Spells of epic proportion. I could teach you the power of lightning, or the power of necromancy. Should you wish to leap as lightning does, or command an entire graveyard of the fallen. Some of these spells repeat, as you see.
Mhm.
Of my own signature creation, I can give you the power of space, the power to tap into the infinite. And the three spells on offer here are Infinity Room, Grave of the Fallen, and Lightning Leap.
Hmm.
I see that you are a prepared student. Eyeing your multiple tablets.
Yeah.
But you only have one attunement slot left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that you are a prepared student, but it will do you little good, as I'm afraid your soul can only handle so much strain. Worry not, it is a flaw all things mortal share. Strain and time. inevitably reality succumbs. Make your choice, if you will.
Swords. Ignore this.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Make your choice. I choose sword!
My sword damage randomly changed from rolling a dice to just being a flat 2 for some reason. I'm so confused.
That is weird.
Sorry to interrupt.
Um, not sure what to choose. Um, I think, um, I think I'm leaning towards doing the Grave of the Fallen.
Very well. And you do the thing that you've seen done twice now, so
Yeah.
you don't really need guidance. You are attuned to the Grave of the Fallen. You gain a level of exhaustion. And I would like you to make either a perception check or an insight check.
There we go, I fixed it.
I think my perception's higher.
Or maybe a history check.
My history's higher than that.
Oh, you already rolled it.
Yeah.
The price of knowledge is memory.
Oh.
And this one's very hard to tell because what you give up is it is difficult to be aware of what you're giving up when what you're giving up is your awareness of it.
God damn.
But slowly as you walk through the door with a bit of conscious awareness, because you rolled really good on that. But you remember everything after coming into the mists. Your life before, not so much.
Oof.
Damn. So do I remember my my squire at all since we ran into her after the mist?
Yes, you remember running into her and being like, "We have to save her." But you don't remember outside of that. You
that they're
remember
important, but not why.
you remember that you cared, but you no longer remember the bond itself.
I probably also don't remember how my face got all burned up.
Correct.
That's a big oof. And what was your price?
So yeah. I get kind of thinking my response might just be I don't remember. And then probably clarify I'm not remembering anything before the mist.
Normal? Do you guys not remember anything before the mists?
Well, does Rowena remember knowing what happened before the mist before this moment?
You remember, like, when they were like, so how did you get here? What happened? You remember talking about a battle or something,
Yeah.
but you don't remember it itself.
Yikes.
Which is actually double weird because you do have flashes from the memory of that other wizard whose staff you now have.
Yeah.
That's an odd combination.
Are we gonna have an identity crisis at some point? I don't know.
God, all this stuff is just lining up.
Marcus grows ever more confident in his decision not to get power from this place.
I mean, all in all, I think I got lucky, considering what the other places have been.
I don't know, I feel like a fear of the dark is a lot less bad than not remembering who you are.
It would be more oof for Marcus, I think. You'd run into Beatrix again and you'd be like, I kind of know you.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'm going to pay a visit to the Archon. If you wanted to say hi to the Primordial, I won't stop you, but I feel like we've gotten what we came here for. Except for pool in the center,
Something tells me we should deal with that last.
of course.
Yeah, there's something in that room.
I don't like the look of it. But our friend here can tell it to fuck off.
Well, that's if they're undead.
Is it?
Yeah, it could be barbarians or more witches or something else.
I thought he just said the creatures of the place won't attack you if he's with you, not just undead ones.
Yeah.
It's just like, clear out, we may be using this room. You didn't book a reservation.
This room is reserved.
The fuck are those?
They've been here a while.
As an answer what they are.
What are they? Do I know what they are?
They just shuffle into this room.
Into which room?
The one
The-
where we came from.
Yeah, the Archmage room.
Ah.
There are some who come to this place, and there are some who never leave.
I see.
Anyway. The password's Wonderwall. Anyway, Wonderwall. No, that's not the password.
Oh god.
I
What
couldn't
it was,
resist, though. I'm sorry. Harkotha! And that one is already open. honestly, probably for the best. The password to that room is very, very tricky to pronounce.
I see. Well. Are you gonna go through the door?
Just waiting for you guys.
I mean, is anyone planning on talking with them?
I thought Katrina was.
Katrina will enter the Archon's room.
How long has it been?
I don't believe I have the answer to that.
Fair enough. I have no sense of time in this place. In fact, I have no sense of anything. Speak and be heard.
The caretaker of this place refers to you as the Archon.
Indeed.
Who were you?
I was one who learned how to tap into the source of magic. Or at least one of the sources. The first to tame the wild magic and take it into my very being. I then used it to blast apart my enemies, entire kingdoms. You would not know me. I'm afraid I left little traces of constructive remains.
Power so devastating that it even erased your own name from history then?
Perhaps. I know that while I lived, there were those who feared to speak it. If you must, then you may know me as Devastation and Chaos. They may not be my names, but they will do.
Chaos then.
I see you have but one epic magic upon you. I
Indeed.
trust you understand how this works.
Indeed I do.
Then know the power. The power of the Phoenix. To blast apart your enemies and come out unscathed. Or perhaps it is the Enigma mask that you seek. I see you are familiar with that one.
Indeed.
Yes. Its mark is upon you.
At that, Katrina will sort of tilt her head in curiosity.
If you do not already know, then you do not already know, for such is the nature of the spell. All I can say is that someone you know, someone close to you, yes.
So she didn't cast it on herself, she cast it on me. Why?
That is not what I said.
Forgive me, you were saying.
The spell affects you as it affects all around the caster.
I see.
Third spell I have to offer you is the power to break sound itself. And you get little flashes like before of 3 spells and what they can sort of do.
Mm-hmm.
And the spells are Phoenix Blast, Enigma Mask, and Sonic Boom.
Katrina will take a step back, considering the options, and say, "Thank you for your offer, but I fear the cost might be too great." And she cracks the tablet and leaves it discarded and broken on the ground before walking out.
There is no response.
None of these enamored ones were able to tell us anything about how my father came to power.
There's still the pool.
To be fair, you didn't ask.
True. But also we're stupid and power hungry.
Please don't include me in your we.
Exithanter, I know memory might be difficult for you, but do you recall another seeker, my father, Strahd von Zarvik? You mentioned he... Out of character, I don't know if this is accurate information because I have a terrible memory. But did Exithanter tell us that Strahd drank from the pool? Yes,
You saw that in the book.
in the book.
And he also mentioned that he went to the source, unlike most of the seekers that come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the answer to what the fuck Strahd did would not be with any of these enamored ones, but with the source itself, the pool of magic in the center of this place. Presumably.
Yeah.
Then let's go.
We're going to the pool.
Yep.
Nobody wants to talk to the druid.
Just for the sake of completeness.
Misery was going to, just to, screw with Katrina. because she wanted to, I guess, imitate what Camus would have done. But then she
Yeah, that'd be
was like,
hilarious.
she decided that the cost wasn't worth a practical joke.
Mhm.
Is that character growth that I see?
More existential dread that something worse might happen. But I guess it could be seen as character growth.
I want to for the sake of completeness, but Marcus would not.
Marcus, you do feel you feel a connection to this room, unlike any of the others.
Marcus would be the only character
As a
who would
ranger,
even
yeah.
As a ranger,
forcefully
yeah.
have some sort of bond with this one.
You did take a tablet.
And you don't have to take the spell.
That is true. Might as well see what information we can learn. I'll go inside.
I find it funny that after asking the cleric one for a hint of the cost, you didn't ask for hints of the others.
For the Archon, I kind of got a little bit of a sense of what the cost might be.
I want to know your
And
your
also,
theories.
like, oh, I'm not particularly interested in these spells, so I'm not gonna bother
Chaos
asking.
and destruction and also fucking wild magic.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Now after session, I want to know what you actually had planned.
I we can talk about it.
All right.
Human. Speak.
Hello.
It comes out as almost like a growl. And there's something very... I don't know how well you can actually see the thing in the
No,
amber.
Not really.
I mean, that's partially by design.
Mhm.
But it comes across as very draconic.
I see.
Dragon primordial.
Yes. Well, she said speak,
Yes.
and you said... Sorry,
I
what?
said hello. Exothanter called you the primordial.
That is but one of my titles, yes. Or perhaps it was.
I see. My traveling companions have spoken with the various others that dwell in this place. And
How
have
wise
learned
of them.
What?
Or perhaps
have to offer.
foolish.
So we might as well see what the last of them has to offer as well.
Not even a hint of curiosity as to my story.
Sure. What is your story then?
You think you almost see a like the after image snorts fire. It's weird. But there's a fiery snort for like half a second. What know you of the dragons?
Out of character, what do I know of the dragons?
Nildrenon, Argynvostolt, that entire war thing that happened.
I guess that.
I speak not of recent history.
Oh, never fucking mind.
So, what do I know about dragons in general?
You can make a nature check maybe, or a history check, but
I'll make both.
yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know anything about history.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
big and scaly, and they breathe fire, but sometimes other elements.
I'm afraid I don't know much about the ancient history of dragons.
A terrible, terrible shame. I understand this valley is under the rule of my kind, yes? Tell me, is this still so?
It is not.
There is a moment of silence.
These lands were ruled by Nildrenon and then Argynvost, but
I
no longer.
know of Nildrenon.
Both were dragons.
Argynvost. This name means nothing to me, but Nildrenon, there was a plan. You may call it a prophecy. But my circle were the first to take the form that you know as dragons.
What now?
Circle of Dragons.
Druid's Circle of Dragons.
Dragons were originally druids?
Indeed.
Interesting.
I understand that the first and second of our circle position themselves as deities among your kind at some point after. Tell me, human, do Bahamut and Tiamat still soar the skies?
Do they?
Debatable.
They are
Make a religion
definitely-
check.
They're definitely recognized
Yeah,
draconic deities.
I recognize the names, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your eyes go wide. And she just chuckles. Like she's finally satisfied that you get it. Bask in our draconic majesty. It was a form that came to us in dreams. From this place, I suppose. And it is from these dreams that Nildrenon was conceived. It was quite the ritual. But alas, I never lived to see it. You do have my thanks, human, for listening to an old story. And I would imprint some of what was once my power into you, that it may breathe into the world once again, if even for a moment, if you would have it.
I have seen the prices exacted upon my companions by the others, and I do not believe it is a cost that I am willing to pay.
there is more like shadowed fire, you would defy me.
In a manner of speaking, I suppose so.
Then be gone. And you hear a roar, and there's a flash of fire, and it doesn't really extend past the crystal,
I just nod as
but
you
you
wish.
feel
Unwelcome.
a very barely perceptible, slightly warm, slight breeze. Although in this place it's just slightly less cold.
I'll just nod and say, as you wish. And then I depart. Oh, that was mildly useful.
Do tell.
Yeah, care to share with the class the lore dump
Yeah.
that each of you received and hasn't shared with each other?
Oh yeah.
That could be important.
I just assumed they were discussed, like, between walking to the different rooms.
Yeah, we can say that. Katrina would have talked about Lathander being the enambered one for the Ascendant.
Yeah, I'll basically,
Sharon discussed now, yeah.
I'll relay the information I got. Of note, the thing about the origin of dragons and the thing with Mildredon and the mention of the prophecy, which I can only assume is the thing we found in Drakenvon, or whatever it was called. That was the name of that dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Drakenvon. I also talked to Chaos, though they were rather clear that the destruction and wrath that they brought upon the world when they still walked it definitely made their name feared enough to not be spread. So I'm afraid I don't know much about them as a person beyond what they told me. Which in itself is not much to begin with. Either way, I believe we've kept Casimir waiting long enough.
Alright, you all head back to the pool room. Although it's a bit cold for swimming.
I can't help but notice Misery's all the way back there.
She is now. She has been somewhat humbled, and she is kind of afraid of what this place can do.
Admit I'm not entirely sure how this should work. I have my sister's notes and spell books and her bones, but well, and he sort of looks around for help.
rub the bones in and see what comes out?
I'm not entirely sure if that is.
Advisable.
Katrina will step forward and see what she can help with her limited knowledge of divine magic and resurrection.
Yeah, make me a Arcana or Religion check.
Okay.
Okie dokie then.
Raven Queen motherfucker.
Yeah, okay, so you know that generally how this kind of thing works is with bones this old. Well, even with bones not this old, but especially with bones this old, it's like you gotta get the soul of the person back.
Which, if our friend Exithanta is telling the truth and there is a sixth person here with us, it's quite likely that's her.
But you do know that it is especially tricky because of the mists, soul trapping that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that generally you'll have to deal with both like the deity in charge of their death or their soul or their afterlife. Divine bureaucracy is weird. As well as deal with the deity of the mists, which in this case is all the same thing. And with that nat 20, you kind of perceive it's not a physical thing, but you sense the mist. You sense mists are sort of like rising out of this pool like steam. It's really subtle, but it's there.
Katrina will sort of get up and walk toward the
It's
pool,
an
eyeing it
endless
with a
starry
bit,
void that gives off green mist.
eyeing it with a bit more just cold, seething anger at what it represents.
And you feel a whisper in the back of your head. Not words, just intent. You feel a whisper that looks like touching it.
You feel a whisper that looks like touching the color green.
Yes.
Sorry, touching the color 7.
Yes. Exactly.
I will turn back to Casimir and say, usually when returning a departed soul to its once living body, you need to find that soul, contend with the deities that lay claim to it in its death, and guide it back to the vessel in which it inhabits. In this case, the bones. The deity holding dominion over your sister's soul. She will turn back to the pool. Would be the mists themselves. And the mists themselves happen to be right here. I can't help you with this.
Do I drink it? Do I throw the bones in?
Approach, look within. I'm sure you'll figure out what to do. I can't help you with this.
He will look it in. He looks at his reflection. But then he's like, is there not a reflection? He sees the lack of a reflection and he's like, this is weird. And I was like, well, whatever.
Didn't you just say he looked at his reflection though? Or
Yeah,
you mean...
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna look at, yeah, and then he realized, wait, there is no reflection.
He
Oh, I
looked
see.
at where his reflection would be
Yeah.
Got it.
and finds it lacking. Katrina's going to look over and see if she sees her own reflection.
You do.
But does he have a reflection too?
But he does not have one.
That's strange.
You're not. I just jokingly. Well, he mentions a comment like I don't see a reflection. Like, I'm jokingly like, you're not a vampire, are you? Said in an obviously joking way.
Not last I checked.
Strange.
Never known it to show reflections.
Then why does Katrina have a reflection?
Do you not?
Who's that directed at?
The rest of the party?
Do we
I mean,
have
anyone can
reflections?
look. Katrina's the only one.
I'm gonna take a bit more of a step back.
Maybe it's the vampire blood.
Oh,
Only
so this pool
vampires
just
have reflections.
so this pool just happens to be the only thing that can reflect vampires.
And can't reflect other things. I don't know.
No, you don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
It's all conjecture on my part.
I do hear something though. A whisper? Do you hear a whisper?
I did hear it whispering, but I suspect it is different for each of us.
Sounds like it sounds like my sister. I hear her now.
Katrina would assist with whatever she can assist with, but this is his task. This is his quest.
All right. He'll roll his thing with advantage, I guess, because you're assisting, and I think that's
Yep.
how it works.
Yeah.
And suddenly, he's not the only one hearing a whisper. Marcus, you just feel a chill from behind you.
I will look.
It's a banshee. And, she just passes through you. Which is really weird. You ever have a ghost just go through you?
I would try to move to walk out of its path.
Fair.
I turn to see him like, ugh. Sidestep away.
He's just like, holy shit, it's Petrina. I never actually thought I'd see you again. And there seems to be an exchange between them. She's really quiet, which is probably a good thing for a banshee.
You're right.
And he looks between her and the pool, and he's like, I see. There is a way. But I'm afraid there must be a balance.
Well, unless you plan on killing yourself, don't think you're going to get any of us to agree to it. There are a bunch of stragglers that we could probably coerce into being your unwilling sacrifice. I'm sure Helm and his lot would be
Opposed to
sufficient.
The banshee shakes her head.
I see. Not just a life for a life, but meaning for meaning. In order to get something of value back, you need to give up something of value first.
And yeah, Casimir looks very shaken. He's like, I don't know what to do.
You expect us to make the decision for you?
Basically. It's like any like party member side quest in a BioWare game.
that.
Or like it's the decision that affects them, but they never know what to do because they're not the player.
Katrina will lay a comforting hand on his shoulder and say, I am genuinely sorry, but I suppose this is one of the reasons why the Raven Queen is not known to let those who cross the veil find their way back. If you are not prepared to pay the price, then I at least hope that seeing her has brought you some semblance of solace.
He looks at her and she looks desperate and pleading. And he's like, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself though. I've spent so much time. I wouldn't know what to do. No, I think it would be better this way.
I'm going to turn around, both hands on his shoulders now, get him to look me in the eye. If you're thinking of doing what it sounds like you're thinking of doing, I know you aren't prepared to live in a world without your sister back from the dead, but do you think your sister would be okay living in a world where you're dead? Because that's the price.
I don't know. It's once upon a time, perhaps. But now I don't know. She's
Right here. You could ask her.
you look you know, you both turn to her and she has like this very sympathetic smile. And Casimir will explain that, you know, after she died and was coming to me in dreams, I told you about her death, yes? How she's done some things.
He did. I just, out of character, I have no memory of what he told us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess recap is she kind of led a low-key rebellion against Strahd,
I remember that.
and
much.
is
Oh,
kind of the reason why Strahd,
Murdered the entire female population of Dusk Elves.
yes. She basically like provoked the genocide. And, you know, has been seeking redemption.
I see.
So honestly, to tell you the truth, if you had asked me that question before, back when she was alive, well, I think I know what she would choose, but now I'm not so sure. And her aim to be a better person. Maybe she'd answer differently now. And she still has the sweet sympathetic smile on her face. And just the level of emotion that's being communicated here between two family members with not but, you know, facial expression and a slight whisper. It's kind of touching, honestly. But maybe that just
Go ahead.
maybe that just means she's worthy of it. All the more worthy of it.
Katrina is going
So is he
to.
saying that before she would have been prepared to live without him, or would
Yeah.
not be prepared to live without him?
She would make the choice.
That she would make the choice to.
Live without him.
Oh, I see. But now he's not sure if she would rather not live without him.
Yeah, or do the noble thing, you know?
Mhm.
But does that make her not the more worthy choice then?
Katrina is going to try and communicate with this spirit. And regardless of what happens, whether you leave this temple alive or your brother does, your death will not go unanswered for. I promise you.
She nods solemnly. And Casimir's just like, all right, I'll do it. And he goes to stand over the edge. And hesitates. All right, they look at each other.
I'm going to continue speaking telepathically, because now there's definitely a time limit, and ask, do you want him to?
You do not get an answer.
Then I do not stop Casimir from throwing his life away.
And standing on the edge, he's shaking now. You know, now that he's actually on the thing, it's you know, a lot harder to take that final step. And he's just like, they can't really like hold each other because, well, they kind of can. I think ghosts can hit people, so they can.
They're semi-corporeal.
Yeah, they're corporeal enough, so there's like a, you know, face touch thing going on. And he's like, "Sister, I'm scared." And after a moment of, you know, like anxiety, she just pushes him.
Okay.
Okay.
And he falls in. Plunk. You do not see him in there.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, you see her face just like, oh, for fuck's sake, push.
I was expecting to be like, oh, she comforts him for a moment, and his anxiety
No,
goes
it was
away.
not a comforting push.
No, before you said push.
Yeah.
But I said she, like, comforts him for a moment, and then he is comforted, and then he willingly goes.
No, it's like, betrayal! And she vanishes and then climbs out. Finally.
Well, after that, I'm not so sure we can trust her.
Are you going to just stand there?
You expect us to bow?
No. But, well. You are rather in the way.
That was
Thank
rather
you.
harsh, wasn't it not?
Perhaps. But I've waited a long time for this.
What is this exactly?
Revival? Vengeance?
Do not be so quick to throw your life away again.
Noted. And no, she'll turn away, but then turn back at Katrina and be like, "You are his daughter."
I am.
An heir? I never thought I'd see it. What strange times.
Well, if you seek vengeance on Strahd, then we share a common enemy.
Katrina just nods. And she's also going to use Eyes of the Grave again, just because she can't be sure with that character art.
It tells you binary undead, but doesn't tell you the type, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna go ahead and say binary true.
She is undead then. Fascinating.
Am I? Unless you don't verbalize that.
I don't. But she would telepathically
Actually, make
tell
me. Yeah,
What?
you're still telepathically linked. Because it lasts for 9 minutes.
Oh shit.
So she's
I
just
forgot to unlink.
Like, she's just like, am I now?
Whatever happened, she is undead. This I speak aloud. I do not know if that means we can trust her or not, but so far, she has not attacked us. I say we let her be, let her do what she will.
Which reminds me, she'll like turn back to the pool. I had plans to come back here. Separate of my plans to come back here. What do you know of this pool, of your father?
I'm curious why you're asking. Since it
Because I'm a
implies
dramatic bitch.
Well, you see, I'm at a crossroads. Because if you know, then you already know, and if you don't, then I'd rather not tell you.
Well, fine. Suffice to say, I want your father's power, and to do that, I have to get this power. Yes? Does that make sense? Are we all on the same page?
You want his power?
Yes, was that not clear?
No, it wasn't.
Are you sure you want it?
Yes. And she will confidently take out. She has a wine glass in her art, so she has a wine glass now. Like, that's convenient.
Katrina will close the telepathic connection with her, open one with Marcus, and whisper mentally, your call.
as she bends down and fills her cup with the pool and then drinks it.
Before she does
Cheers.
that, I'm less like, are you sure that's such a good idea?
Oh, I only just crawled out of it. I know what I'm doing. And then cheers. Actually, she'll offer the toast to Rowena because y'all are being hostile and Rowena's.
I'm not being hostile, I'm just questioning.
Yeah, you're questioning her.
I
But
miss
yeah, she'll just
Casimir.
nod at Rowena. Cheers. And drink. And her eyes go black for like a minute. In this minute, you can do what you want. Or just stand there for the minute.
I
Maybe
am observing.
I am also observing.
I've always
perhaps
observed.
we should leave.
Katrina's going to just stand hiding behind a pillar, waiting for something to happen.
Misery is stepping backwards towards the staircase.
I will also step back.
Oh, you've got to be fucking shitting me. She finally says. As she like blinks and her eyes come back. Are you serious? She just like shrieks at the pool.
Oh, what happened?
Really? Her? And she looks around for Katrina. Who is hiding behind the pillar.
Mm-hmm.
How hiding are you? Are you like real hiding, or are you just like taking half cover?
You can. She'll look in Katrina's
Yeah,
direction
she's
for a
like
bit
looking
longer than
for
normal.
you, and then like, where the fuck? You.
What did it want with me? Also, I take it that didn't go as well as you hoped.
I am not the first choice, it would seem.
What
And
do
with
you
a
mean?
you see a hint of loathing on her face, like resigned loathing. She offers you her glass and the liquid that's still in it because she didn't drink the whole thing. You hear the glass rings. It's for you.
Well, if it's ringing, you better pick it up.
Right?
Katrina will take the wine glass
And puts it to her ear.
and just step to the center.
She's gonna go sulk by this pillar.
Look at the pool. Look above the pool at this temple.
Well, this is what we came here for, isn't it?
I guess, but something doesn't really sit right with me. Katrina is going to go to the edge of the pool and set the wine glass down on the edge before stepping away a little bit. Why me? Why all of this? I'm aware of my rather special circumstances in the grand tapestry of fate. Something beyond the cycle, something can't be predicted, for better or worse. I am aware of at least 2 deities who desperately want my support in countering a third. This. So, why does it want me? What does it want with me?
You know,
If I were it, I would want you to stop fighting it.
that is a fair point.
And, furthermore, she sort of turns to the woman who just crawled out of the pool and gives a very polite curtsy. Now we know it has wants. Katrina looks up at the ceiling again, the high, vaulted ceiling. Rowena, do you still have one of your plates available?
I think she has 4.
Yeah.
May I have one?
Okay.
I'm going to go pay the Archon another visit. Katrina heads over to the Archon once more.
Doors closed and locked.
She'll say whatever the password was that Exithanter said to get inside.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
He
very
just
curious
closed all the doors after you left, because,
I'm very curious what you have in mind.
Apologies
back
for
so soon.
Apologies for my impropriety, but I believe I have need of your destruction.
Is that so?
Yes. I'm sure you're aware of the source, this pool within the center of the temple.
I am.
I want to make sure none can access it again.
Are we able to blow the temple up?
He's gonna set it on fire forever.
Would advise that such things may not be possible. If your goal is to bury the chamber, perhaps. But it could be excavated again. And if your goal is to destroy the pool itself, well, others have tried. Others stronger than you.
Others like whom?
Do you know of the one called Mother Night?
I am aware of the Raven Queen, yes.
Then he just nods.
I see. Burying it will suffice for now.
Then a spell you seek. And you feel the 3 choices again.
Remind me which 3 choices.
Phoenix Blast, Enigma Mask, and Sonic Boom.
Would I get the sense that Sonic Boom would be enough to cause the temple to collapse and like bury the pool in rubble? Either that or Phoenix Blast, whichever one.
Well, you've got what is basically 20d6 thunder damage.
Okay.
Actually, an additional 20d6 because it's an enclosed space.
Mm-hmm. I believe I will take Sonic Boom.
Very well. Do you understand the cost?
I understand there is one, and I'm prepared to pay it.
Then so be it.
Do the ritual of holding the tablet to the thing.
You gain another level of exhaustion.
Yep, that I do.
And you feel the wild magic within you. Every time you cast a spell now,
Mm-hmm.
not a cantrip, but every time you cast a spell, you will roll on the wild magic table.
I fucking figured. I love it. Let's go for it.
Heh.
Katrina, after the knowledge has been received, will give a bow to destruction and chaos and say, "Thank you. I might be the last seeker you interact with for quite some time."
It has been quite some time since the last one.
Indeed. She will leave. Slowly making her way back to the main chamber, because 2 levels of exhaustion gives you half speed, don't you
Yep.
know?
You come back to a scene because not everyone is just standing around waiting for you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like a meanwhile. As Katrina left, the rest of you see the woman's just sort of yelling at the pool some more. Like, you see, she doesn't even want it.
You should calm down.
Aren't you the one who said you knew what you were doing?
I do. I drank, and as you see, I'm fine.
Oh, you look fine.
How about you die, see your people get genocided, and then come back after some 500 plus years? Then we'll see how fine you look. Hmm?
Death is meaningless.
Meaningless, you say? In this of all places. Do you have the gall to say that here?
I do.
Do you even know what this is?
I know it's the Amber Temple.
No, not this paltry facade of stone that was built around it. No, this. And she will gesture at the pool. What this is connected to.
It's connected to something that is trying to fight the gods. I know that much.
This, you fool, is death itself. Not some mere god of death, or a mere god for that matter. You've spoken to them, yes? Heard their stories? Haven't you all?
Is she referring to the gods or the...
The enamored
The
ones,
enamored
probably.
ones.
Yes. And Katrina, this is what you will come back to hearing. Like, you hear this conversation as you're slowly making your way down the hallway.
And what
There
of it?
are lesser beings in this place that were once gods. They started out as mortal before they ascended. Do you see? The Morning Lord, Mother Night, even Orcus, all of them started out as lesser. All the power that they wield, their domains, are things they merely claimed for themselves.
Just putting that on there for when it's relevant.
Heh. This entity, this true death, predates all of that. It predates even existence as we know it.
I would strongly recommend you leave. All of you.
Why do I get the feeling that you're not going to drink?
Katrina does not grace that with a response and just begins to walk up the staircase. So eventually she is in this spot, but on the upper floor, so the sonic boom reaches more surface area around and above the pool. And before she leaves and heads off into the temple, she will say, "I'll meet you all outside."
See, I told you all we'd be leaving this temple as it was crashing down around us.
Heh.
She's going to start not running, but briskly walking up the staircase.
Everyone else just leaving?
I guess so.
I guess.
Well, she will actually follow Katrina first. Well, I think I see what you're planning to do. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct.
Well, Truth be told, far be it from me to stop you. In fact, between you and me, this, I believe, works rather well in my own favor.
Why are you here?
I'm hedging my bets. A last word, if you will, on its behalf.
Fair enough.
The way I see it, you destroy this place. No one else can drink from it for a long time. I will have been the last drinker. That suits me just fine. You go off, fight your father, probably fail. At which point, well, I'm the second pick. So, please, by all means.
If you don't want to get buried along with this place, I suggest you leave.
I don't, but as I said, I want to hedge my bets. I'd hate to lose, well, second place. If it meant not at least, well, trying. So you'll hear what we have to say, yes? And then we can get on with this? Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think Katrina and they are in like the alcove just outside of the sort of balcony area. So like this room, but a floor above. What do you want?
To explain some things. At least make the offer. I know, you won't accept it, but I have to make it, yes? Go through the motions with me, shall you?
Katrina like gives a gesture for her to keep going. Get on with it.
Long ago, your father made an arrangement. And he has not kept up his end of the bargain, as it turns out.
I'm listening.
Are you aware of the terms of his pact?
Not in detail, no.
He wished for to be invigorated with youth and power. For her heart. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
You know that much of his story?
Yes.
So tell me, in those words, what is his end of the deal?
Out of character, you're gonna have to spell it out for me because it's like 11:57 and
Fair.
I'm tired.
No. But yeah, she's just being a dramatic bitch, and then when you don't get it, she's like, children.
If she says that, you look at her and be like, "Stop being such a dramatic bitch."
Yeah. For her heart.
But not her love.
The entity is not mortal, and frankly never was. For all of its power. Unlike all the other gods, this one has, shall we say, a limited understanding of how us mortals work. Despite your father's understanding, or perhaps misunderstanding, the bargain was very literal. He would have his youth, and then he would have her heart. Now, in my own communion, I have since learned that this Tatiana, this original incarnation of my half-sister,
Wait, what now?
That gets an eyebrow raise from Katrina.
oh, you didn't know. Oh, well, allow me to share my sob story, as it were. Did you know that I once courted your father? She's
did
waiting
not.
for the squick.
There surprisingly is no squick. Katrina is honestly past the point of caring.
Fair. Yes, I thought, well, my people were subjugated. I thought marriage to the throne would be the best option. And I thought at the time, well, you humans have such short lifespans. But your father, well, he is unburdened as such. I figured if I must wed a human, it must be him. I was getting through to him for a while, and then my half-elf, half-sister.
You cut out on half. You said
Half
half
elf,
elf,
half sister.
Yeah,
So she's half an elf and half a sister?
yes,
They share
Okay.
exactly one parent.
yes.
You
Came
cut
along
off in
and
exactly the right way where I
yeah.
couldn't tell if it was
Yeah.
there was another word between those phrases.
I mean that word might have been bitch. My half-elf bitch of a half-sister came
She's
along and
50% elf, 50% human, and 50% bitch.
yes,
No, 100% bitch.
came along and
We're talking
ruined that
about
plan.
Tatiana here.
But I have since learned that she is actually a reincarnation of. Well, it's a whole thing. I won't bore you with the details. Besides,
Didn't we
I'm sure
already know
you're
she was a reincarnation of something?
aware of some of this.
I don't remember. all
And
the
your mind
details.
flashes back to the recap of, yeah, so Tatiana was in fact a reincarnation of the person who did the soul harvest spell on Nildrenon, and that was what allowed Nildrenon to die.
Yep.
So
I
she
vaguely
actually is
remember
like a triple chain reincarnation of Nildrenon from a certain point of view.
Yep.
What now?
All the way back in
Yeah.
Drakenvond, we learned that the OG original Tatiana, the one that Strahd originally fell in love with, was a descendant slash reincarnation slash what have you of the sorceress that was able to kill Nildrenon, who was the black dragon that ruled Barovia before Argynvost's Holtz, and that clan took over. So, in so doing, some of Nildredon's essence lives on within her and her bloodline and her
Right.
reincarnations.
I vaguely
Not her
remember that.
bloodline, specifically her reincarnation.
Yes. Anyway, back to the present.
As it turns out, your father's end of the deal is rather simple. Ironically so. The one thing he will never do.
Kill her.
It's more nuanced than that, but yes. After all, he's killed her 100 times by now. If that were all it took, he'd be done. No, he needs her heart. You know how he became what he is, yes? His brother Sergei?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the vision in the tome flashback where he ate his brother's heart?
Yep.
So he has to eat her heart.
There's a certain symmetry to it. Don't you agree?
Ah, that's disgusting.
It is. But it is what he signed up for.
And because he is not and will never do that, the Mists see fit to play this charade cycle after cycle again and again. Is that it?
Until he gets the hint. I'm told the last cycle had some interesting results.
You could certainly say that.
The mist saw fit to reincarnate her as a man. Perhaps then your father would stop trying to, well, bed her. But no, instead it made your father question his entire... Have you had the talk yet?
You don't need to have the talk with me. I'm fully aware.
I would rather not.
Wow.
Suffice to say, he's been experimenting since.
Oh my god, that is way too much information! Please, just move on.
Wow.
This is my father we're talking about.
Well, that's where we stand. The Mists seek someone else to take his place.
Well,
Incidentally, the whole Mists trapping Barovia, I learned something rather interesting right before I died.
what?
The Mists are only in place so long as he does not fulfill the bargain. It makes sense when you think about it, of course. Every time she dies, she needs to be reincarnated into a controlled environment so that he can properly access her heart. But, well, he keeps fucking that up. And so the mists stay.
So, thank you for telling me all this, for giving me, honestly, the best lead we've gotten so far. And now let me tell you why I'm not going to fucking drink from the pool. Regardless of what the Bists want, or whatever this entity, this true death, wants from me, I have been made aware by Mother Knight, the Raven Queen, whichever you want to call her, and Orcus, Demon King of Undeath, whatever title befits him. Did you know they're working together? They never work together. Because there is a threat to both of their existences in the Shadowfell, and it is that.
Yes, that doesn't surprise me.
So no, I am not going to take whatever power it offers me. I am not going to threaten all of existence, this plane and others, by giving it the one thing it wants, which is to know me, the unknown varied.
Sorry, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
But it's so late. We're learning so much.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, where were we?
I was talking about how I'm not going to accept its power. I'm not going to even engage with it because, from what I understand, I am the one thing it cannot predict. And if Orcus and the Raven Queen and basically all of existence have any chance of fighting back against this, they're going to need all the help they can get.
Pity.
I recommend you run. And
Oh, I
Katrina's-
intend to.
And Katrina is going to step out the door over to the edge of the balcony and
As
prepared.
you step and make your preparations, she just does the the Willy Wonka. No, don't come back.
And Katrina is going to cast Sidebar. I wish I had one more level of Sorcerer instead of Cleric, because then I could get a third meta magic to have Empowered Spell, but I don't.
Meta magic does not work on these.
Good to know. Wouldn't have helped. I am going to cast Sonic Boom. Sort of holding my hands out, gathering the energy, whatever it does, Kamehameha, and with a resounding thunderclap, I am going to attempt to cave in the Amber Temple and thus make this pool inaccessible.
Hey.
So what was that, like 40d6?
We can post the spell, I think. Let's see. Casting time 1 action, range self 60-foot radius. components: verbal, somatic, and material. The flavor on these are pretty cool. A storm giant's death rattle, magically preserved in a glass jar. This isn't something you need because you have the tablet, but
Mhm.
you know.
Fascinating.
And then the description. Oh, that cut off at a weird point.
It also like paragraphs at weird points.
Yeah, it does.
And because narrative flavor, because I just saw that if it's in an enclosed space, I am also subjected to the spell's effects along with other creatures in the area.
Yep.
And it did
Um,
more damage.
Yep.
I am going to say, just to prepare what I'm doing, my plan going in was to cast this as my action and then quicken spell Dimension Door to get myself out.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that ahead of time. Because as it was, you know.
Yeah. So, I am fine if I slump down in the snow next to the cart, next to the rest of the party at 0 HP and bleeding out, but I want to get out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that would be 40 d6.
Yes.
That is 40 d6.
Damn.
It's a lot of 1s and 6s.
Yeah, that is a lot of 1s and 6s. And I believe I have to make a Constitution saving throw.
You do.
You also have to roll on the wild magic table for this spell.
You do. You do.
And for Dimension Door?
There's my Constitution saving throw. It is lower than my Sorcerer spellcasting DC.
You have to roll for this and Dimension Door.
All right. So,
And I believe you're still taking half damage.
so there's the 2d100 for wild magic. What is the DC on this? Is it my Sorcerer DC? Because
It
if
is
so,
your It is your own DC.
It is my own DC. I fail.
All right, so you just take like 100 something damage.
You're also blind and deaf until you get at least 1 point of magical healing.
Yep.
That is
The force of this blows out your eardrums and messes with your eyes.
yeah. Taking 100 plus damage is actually kind of yikes.
Can you
that would
actually survive that?
that would just straight up kill me.
Then
Negative
yeah.
max health.
This was a really bad idea.
It was. I did it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Katrina knew the risks.
We just got you
wait.
back.
Wait. I have a thing.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
you have a thing.
Da, 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 da. I think I have a thing. I don't think it's gonna help. Yeah, no. DC 5 plus the damage taken. I'm not making that save.
If you're not 20,
Fuck it, we ball. No.
I was literally about to say, why should be a nat 1, and then you rolled a nat 1.
well, we'll see the wild magic.
Good night, sweet prince. Have fun.
We
in
just
the...
got you back,
were-
like,
You
2
did just
sessions
get
ago.
me back. I'm also gonna be like gone next week because GDC. So have fun doing a session without me. We can talk to see what happens. But also, this is Dragonstorm's game, and
Oh,
we'll see
no.
what happens.
This is great. This is great. So yeah.
Well, I guess only the first roll is factored in now, since you didn't Dimension Door.
We'll see.
So the first roll increases your size by 1 category. which I'm gonna say increases the explosion.
Fun.
So
Oh.
you get the whole temple, not just the 60 feet. It's still enough that everyone is like a safe distance away.
Yeah,
But
we would have
basic-
already got the horses and everything back up.
Yeah.
And
But
told
the
the
rest of you-
barbarians to get out.
The rest of you, Patrina included, because you gave her the time to leave,
Hmm.
have left and are sort of their backs are to the temple when it just explodes. Like a shockwave comes out and then it collapses. And also, coming out of the shockwave are feathers.
Feathers?
Yes.
Oh my god.
In fact, the sound of the explosion is a sneeze.
why is
I
there-
know I know exactly what wild magic effect that is. God damn it.
What, did you size increase and turn into a giant chicken sneezing?
My size increased and I grew a beard of feathers that lasts until I sneeze.
Yeah, so it's just a sonic boom sneeze of feathers destroys the temple.
What the fuck?
And I think
I think that's nothing.
we'll call it there.
Well,
What
that
just
happened.
realized-
just happened?
Katrina did not have the chance to tell any of y'all any of that.
No, she didn't. There is a person who made it alive who, was there though.
Mm-hmm.
Well then. That's one way to end a session.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.